Let's start off today's show by allowing you to do my job for me, and that is grade Michigan's offense through 7 games. Give me an A, B, C, D, or F. I mean, look, there's been almost 3 different offenses, it feels like, so far this year. You've got game 1 with Cade McNamara, JJ McCarthy coming out the second, third game, kind of air raid attack, throwing the ball a lot more. And in the last 3 or 4 games, it's gone more to that ground raid attack with, like Hassan Haskins and Blake Corum last year. This year, and especially the past game, it's Blake Corum and then the emergence of Donovan Edwards with over 170 yards against Penn State. So let me know, pluses and minuses are acceptable. We are going to review the grades for the offense so far through this 7 games of the season, kind of our mid-season report card, and I'm going to start the show with a bunch of Michigan football news, so make sure you stick with us. It is the Michigan Football Report by Chat Sports, coming up right now. It will not be a spooky Halloween in the Yoder household, at least in the bedroom, that is, and that's because of Manscaped. It's all good down below. Go to manscaped.com, get 20% off on their best in the world male grooming products. Get 20% off and free shipping using promo code GoBlue. Link in the comments and in the description. All right, folks, we are almost there. We're only like 34 away subscribers to get to 22,000. So if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Michigan's top 5 in the country. They just had a dominating top 10 win. Hell, I think they maybe should be number 1 or number 2. But now is the time to subscribe. You will not have a more exciting next month and a half, 2 months of Michigan football, maybe your entire life, and I want to be the guy who gives you as much information and entertainment around that season that you can. So subscribe, youtube.com/MichiganTV. Hit that subscribe button below today's video. All right, later on in the show, I am going to give you my report card for the offense through 7 games, which I hope is about mid-season, right? It's 1 game past the regular season midway, 6 out of 12. This is 7, but we're obviously bowl eligible, and, I expect a Big Ten championship game too, and hell, maybe even a national championship game. So this could even be less than the halfway point of the season should Michigan make it all the way to the national title game. But I'm going to start off today's show with some Michigan football news, and today was the day we expected. I told you on Saturday, I think I even told you yesterday's video, I can't remember, but I've been telling you for weeks that Michigan State game is going to be a night game, and it became official this afternoon. If you haven't seen it yet, I don't think we're breaking any news here, but we were nice enough to tell you for the last 4 weeks that this was all but assured to be a night game, especially with Penn State and Ohio State playing that day, and that game slated to be a big noon kickoff. But how about this ultimate choke job and just wild thing to do, kind of self-own, I guess. Michigan State football at MSU_football on Twitter tried to tweet it out, tried to be funny with their logo versus, at Michigan's logo upside down. The internet has just been rolling and roasting the Spartans with this one all afternoon. They deleted the tweet, but they put the Michigan logo upside down, which of course creates a W, indicating that a cell phone that they are giving the win to the Michigan Wolverines already. You don't have to be too smart to go to Michigan State, right? Very few people, if any ever, would get accepted to Michigan and then choose to go to Michigan State. So it's not surprising they just don't have very intelligent people working for them. I hate to be a jerk about it, but facts are facts. If you go to Michigan State, you're kind of a little brother, kind of one of these. But Michigan clearly will get the W, according to Michigan State's Twitter account earlier on today. With it being a night game, I'll ask you guys this question. Do you like the night game, right? Michigan State. Are you happy? Are you sad? I'm a little bit bummed because my street, I just moved into a house 7 months ago or so. They shut the entire street down, and they have a massive Halloween party for all the neighbors. You can invite friends and stuff. And then if you guys remember back in like January, February, I told you the guy across the street is a Michigan State grad. So I'll get a chance to rub it into him, but he might be a few drinks deep, right? If Michigan wins, he might end up punching me in the face. But I'll have to miss a lot of the festivities to watch this game and, of course, have a show for you guys afterwards. So I was hoping I was wrong and it wouldn't be a night game. But nevertheless, let me know why you like night games or N you do not. ESPN has updated their football power index, a.k.a. the FPI, and Michigan is number 4 in those rankings. But it's kind of a weird thing because I guess they're just trying to rank it on who the best teams are based on their formulas. But Michigan's ranked number 4, okay, but they're behind Ohio State. Alabama's number 2 and Georgia's 3, which I found surprising. But I guess they don't think that Tennessee can run the gauntlet of Georgia and then maybe rematch versus Alabama in the SEC title game. So Alabama, despite their loss, despite almost losing to A&M, despite should have lost to Texas, they are number 2. So it puts some unvalidity to these rankings. But I thought it was interesting. 51% chance they gave Michigan, right, better than 50-50 of making the college football playoff, and 22% to make the title game, 9.5% chance to win the national title. How about the remaining games? Michigan versus their final 5 opponents. It's basically what I've been saying, and I'm sure you have been saying as well, right? If Michigan gets out of that Iowa game and then, of course, obviously beats Penn State, which they did both relatively handily, clearly Penn State was a little bit easier of a game than Iowa on the road, then it should be a march to 11-0, then go to Columbus in what could end up being like a 1-2, 2-3 matchup like in 2006, 2016, etc. 90% chance to beat Michigan State, 95% chance to beat Rutgers, 96 Nebraska, 88.6 to beat the potential Big Ten West champions Illinois, and then 24.9%, basically 25% chance to go to Columbus and get the win. Okay, so what they're basically saying there is Michigan will, according to them, lose to Ohio State, but still better than 50-50 chance to still make the CFP. The question's on the screen. Who is the best team in college football right now? I made a case on Saturday. I made a case on Sunday. I think Michigan has as good of a argument as anybody at this point. But let me know who you guys think it is. After 7 weeks of the college football season, Michigan's headed into its bye week. Let me know what you think the best team in college football. Folks, Michael Myers from Halloween is sure scary, but it does not have to be a hairy Halloween at your house because of our friends at Manscaped. The Performance Package is $95.99 with our promo code GOBLUE. It's 20% off and free shipping. You get the Lawnmower 4.0, which I use not every day, but certainly every week. You get the Weed Whacker, right? Get rid of those ear and nose hairs. Anti-chafing ball deodorant, ball spray toner, and the Magic Mat disposable. You kind of shave, you pick this thing up, you just dump your clippings down in the trash. And also, free gifts, you get a travel bag, which I use every single day, actually, when I take my toiletries out or I travel. And then the Manscaped boxers. It's a great deal. If you are having any sort of experience with someone else in the bedroom and you're not using Manscaped, you're doing something a little bit wrong. Go to manscaped.com. Promo code is GOBLUE, GOBLUE, no spaces, 20% off. Do not buy Manscaped without using our promo code. And if you want to clean things up downtown or have a little nice gift for anybody for Christmas or the holidays, make sure you use Manscaped and use promo code GOBLUE at manscaped.com. Let's dive into our Michigan football report card, the mid-season report card. I'm going to focus on offense today, probably switch it up to defense on Wednesday or Thursday. And I'm also going to touch on the coaching staff on today's show because we typically go like coaching staff, offense, then defense. I'm going to bucket the top two together and put special teams down with the defense. How about head coach Jim Harbaugh? I am giving him an A-. And it's tough to not go anything less than an A for Jim Harbaugh, mostly because Michigan's 7-0, right? Back-to-back years, first time since the 70s. And Jim Harbaugh has taken a brand-new quarterback, switched quarterback after a game, missing his starting running back, first-round safety, first-round defensive end, and David Ojabo, who was a first-rounder until he got hurt, and has turned in one of the better teams, better performances we've seen out of any team in college football so far this year. Sharon Moore, Matt Weiss, I'm giving them a B. And this might cause some controversy. People say, oh my gosh, how can you give them a B? They're blah, 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 this and that. Let's just take a look at the stats here, okay? Stats says they're the number 22 offense in the country according to yardage, total yardage. Where I think they're struggling here is twofold. Number one, you see right there passing. Number 76 in the country at only 232 yards per game. Clearly they're doing good at rushing. Clearly they're scoring a lot of points. Michigan and Georgia and Ohio State, the only three teams to be top 10 in points for both offense and points given up on defense. But nevertheless, the passing offense has not been consistent, and the red zone offense and third down play calling kind of holds me back from giving them anything more than a B grade on the year. First-year defensive coordinator Jesse Minter is taking just right over where Mike McDonald was last year, having one of the best defenses in the country. The stats are staggering so far. Now, they are a little slanted because of Colorado State and Hawaii. And, obviously Iowa's offense isn't very good and things like that. But nevertheless, facts are facts, stats are stats. This team is only giving up 250 yards per game. One thing I'll note, right, Saturday against Penn State, first half, Michigan gave up 14 points. 7 of them were against a pick six, okay. But Penn State had 1 first down on offense against Michigan's defense in the first half. That's amazing. Passing, Michigan is number 9 in the country. Rushing, only giving up 86 yards a game, number 6. And then scoring, they are the number 5 scoring defense in the country. I haven't checked for sure, but I don't think there's probably a single team that ranks in the top 10 in all 4 of those categories. Switching back over from the coaching staff to the offensive positions, we put JJ McCarthy as quarterback in his own grade for himself. I am giving him a B+. Take a look at his stats. They are good, not great, right? 111 of 144 so far this year. And he's completing 77% of his passes so far, which is great. All right, cool. That's great. It's right up there with the best ever. I looked it up. It was Mac Jones, who I think was around 76, 77% in the COVID year of 2020. But only 1,297 yards after 6 starts. So just over 200 yards a game for that. And he's thrown an interception. Recently he's thrown his first 2, but he threw a pick 6 the other, against Penn State on Saturday. Folks, that was an awful interception. If you go back and watch it, there was a little bit of rush that came at him, but that was one of the worst throws by a Michigan quarterback, maybe going back to like John O'Corn or something like that in 2007. That was an O'Corn level throw. That was a Spate level throw against Ohio State, throwing from the end zone. That was one of the worst throws we've seen out of a Michigan quarterback in 5+ years. And that alone doesn't give him a B or a B+ grade, but it's the lack of touchdowns lately, and it's certainly, I know he had 3 against Iowa, but against Indiana, but it's the lack of downfield passing really since his second start of the year. Once we got into the Big Ten, that downfield passing has really struggled, and he has not himself done anything about it, and certainly Michigan's play calling hasn't helped at all. I'm giving the wide receivers an A+. How could you not give the wide receivers an A+? You've got probably the number 3 ranked player in the Heisman Trophy race right now, Blake Corum. You had Diamond Edwards emerge with 170+ yards after being hurt for a few games. A+ for the running backs. They're doing an awesome job so far. Wide receivers, I'm going to B-. All right. I think the wide receivers are doing better run blocking for the running backs than they are running routes or catching passes, right? The leading receivers, we all know who they are: Ronnie Bell, Roman Wilson, Cornelius Johnson. We have not got A.J. Henning involved in the passing game at all. Michigan has not got Angel Anthony involved in the passing game at all. And in a lot of ways, Luke Schoonmaker would be right behind Ronnie Bell right there. He has 23 catches. We'll talk about him in a second. And so Michigan's not going to get any higher of a grade than a B- or even maybe a C+ from the wide receivers until you are putting together consistent plays where the wide receivers are a big threat in the passing game, and more importantly, a big threat on third down or in the red zone. So the wide receivers get a B- for me. Offensive line, it's an A. It is getting close to an A+. They're getting better as time goes on. I think Sharon Moore should be up for what, maybe he should have got it last year, honestly, but Michigan nominated Josh Gaddis for some reason, and he won it. Sharon Moore should be up for Assistant Coach of the Year, Coordinator of the Year, whatever you call it, that the Broyles Award that Gaddis won last year. What he has done in 2 seasons as offensive line coach, after never being an offensive line coach in the past, is absolutely absurd. Oluwatimi coming in, and this offensive line has had injuries, an injured player every single game so far this year. Missed Trente Jones again this past week, and they haven't missed a beat. And perhaps against Penn State, the number 5 rush defense in the country, maybe a slant stat, but that was where they were coming into this game. They had their best performance. This might be the nation's best offensive line, and they could win the Joe Moore Award for the best offensive line in back-to-back years. A- grade for the tight ends. The emergence of Luke Schoonmaker has been pretty terrific, right? I'm loving what I'm seeing from Max Bredesen, who's in there a ton, blocking. You saw even Colston Loveland was in there in the first drive on Saturday. So Schoonmaker has emerged. Eric All out for the season with a back injury, 23 catches, 229 yards. He didn't have any catches against Penn State, but maybe he wasn't needed in that game, and maybe he was a decoy, kind of keeping those linebackers I guess honest, right? Not committing or cheating on the run game. He was running routes and blocking his butt off, but nevertheless, A- for the tight end. Schoonmaker is having a heck of a year. No catches because Michigan's running game was doing so good against Penn State, but still has an outside chance at that. Benny Jappru record of, I believe it's 53, maybe 51, I'll have to double check, catches for a tight end, a Michigan season record. I hope Luke Schoonmaker gets it. And a lot of chatter right now, actually, that Eric All is considering coming back next year, even though he dabbled with going to the NFL after the 2021 season, came back for 2022, might come back for 2023 and be the featured tight end on the offense once again. Wonder what you guys think about my grades, okay? Rate my grades, how you think they were compared to what your thoughts were, or maybe conventional wisdom or what you see from other folks out there. Give me on a scale of 1 through 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, and how you think I did on assessing Michigan's offense and coaching staff through 7 games. One more time before we go, subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button right below the video. 34 more of you. If we're not there by tomorrow, we're going to have a talk, okay? If you've subscribed and you like the show and you enjoy what we've done over the past 3.5 years, send that link, youtube.com/MichiganTV, to a friend. Tell them to subscribe. Send it to your buddies, your Michigan football chat, text message chat, youtube.com/MichiganTV. We will be back with some Michigan football rumors and a little bit of recruiting coming up here on Tuesday. Until then, go Blue.